Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Plane. So the Avios King Twin 1700, that was the deal of the year. I thought I got. Uh, we got this plane. We did a bunch of videos on it, and we had some problems with the wing tips. They wouldn't latch right, and then a bunch of other people got the same plane. I don't know if it was because of my video or not, but in the comments they were having trouble with their wing tips also. It wasn't the wing tip, it was that big wing right there that the receptacle that the locks into, it was off on one side, like a quarter of an inch off. So we did all kinds of modifications and got that to work, and got the receiver in it and coated it with a polyacrylic, and we got it all ready to go. And I took it out for its maiden flight, and the curse of the landing gear got me again. And the first time I tried to land, I messed up the front wheel. So I was back to the workbench, and I tried it again a weekend later. And that time I nicked one of the props. So then I came home and I put the plane up on the shelf, and I got on Hobby King's website and I ordered some propellers. Well, I guess I didn't pay attention to the back order of the props. So a bunch of time went by. I kind of forgot about them. I was getting ready to move and so on. And I said, well, I'm going to check their website and see what's up with this order. And it still said back order. So I messaged them, and they got right back to me, and they said, hey, we can give you a refund. And I said, I'm not worried about it. Just leave the order as it is. And when the props show up, they show up. Well, I forgot about it again until 6 days ago, this last Monday. Today's Sunday. And I got on Hobby King's website, and then I noticed I had a $17 credit. So they gave me a refund, and I didn't know it. So one of the cool spots on the Hobby King website is the bargain bin. You can get stuff on there for a quarter. Even if you don't need this little whatever, it's a quarter. I got 17 bucks to spend. So I go to the bargain bin, and wouldn't you know just how smart computers and technology is? The first set of items in the bargain bin is parts for the Avios King Twin 1700. I'm talking the wing tips are like $550 or $547. A set of these props were like $250. So I got 17 bucks to spend. Let's get a bunch of stuff here. And I ended up spending about 30 or so. But I got 2 new wing tips. I got 2 new elevator halves. Like this right here is all the plastic pieces, the little knickknacks you glue on the side, and that was cheap. That was probably a quarter or something. And then I got all the linkage for all the servos, and I got all 3 landing gear, not the motorized part, but like the axle shaft and so on. I got that, and a bunch of replacement parts, because when I damage a plane, other than the landing gear or the props, it's always the tip of the wing or the elevator halves. They stick out, they're going to hit the ground. So, hey, I might as well have some extras. Well, then I start thinking, this plane was the deal of a lifetime. I think I found this plane for like 200 bucks, normally like a little over 400. And, a year later, I'm seeing all these parts in the bargain bin. So now I know why the plane was so cheap. They were getting ready to discontinue it. And then here we see all the parts in the bargain bin. So if you have an Avios King Twin 1700, you need to go to Hobby King and the bargain bin and get you some replacement parts. All this stuff right here I'm unboxing, the tickets around here somewhere, but it was like $31. And then the shipping was, almost half that. That's how they get you. So I got all kinds of replacement stuff now. I got 3 sets of props. So I'm ready to put the propellers on and try to fly this thing one more time. If we're able to fly it, I'm going to try to do something with the front landing gear. The way it is angled forward is just completely wrong. It needs to be angled backwards. The caster doesn't work. Think about pushing your shopping cart. The 2 front tires or wheels, they follow which way you're pushing the cart. Well, because the caster effect, they're supposed to track which way the back goes. And that's not the case with the King Twin here. Maybe on the real plane, that's how it is. But as far as our RC plane, it'd be okay to miss that scale detail and make the make the front wheel angle backwards so it would track a little better. So we'll see. We're going to put the props on. We're going to try to fly this guy again. The lights are in these new wingtips, and the 2 wires for the lights are soldered to the quick connector. But you're going to have to, if I put a servo into these wingtips, I'm going to have to solder the servo wires to the back side of the connector. I'll show you. I'm going to take one of these connectors out, and I started thinking about that. I'm like, when you get these replacement parts, sometimes they're just empty. It's like the foam only, but this one has the lights in it and the plug and but no servo. And I'm thinking, well, it's like a $2 servo you couldn't put in there, huh? You can see those hinges I added to my wingtips. I got all goofed up on those. That they're not even straight with the other wingtip. Like one hinge is an inch from the end, and on the other half it's like 2 inches. And oh well, we'll learn to fly it with the wingtips that we have already, and if we need to, we can put the servos into these new ones and use them. These are good quality looking parts. They really are. This is my first Avios product. Do you guys have Avios planes? Do they fly good? Do they last as long as the E-flite? My extra 300, I crashed it Memorial Day and totaled it. So right now I'm flying extra fuselage number 3 along with extra 2 wings. The wings that didn't have hinges in them, that's the wings that I'm using on the fuselage that came in the box that was run over by a forklift, where we did all the videos on how to straighten the wings and put them in the bathtub of hot water and steam. And we had a lot of fun doing that kind of stuff. Ended up taking the servos out and throwing those things away, but we had a lot of fun trying to figure all that stuff out. So yeah. Well, I'm going to put some props on this thing and try to fly it again next weekend.